following questions are not for beginner couples. Even so, I seriously recommend trying this at home. We're often told to not fix something that isn't broken. And while that advice may work for microwaves and vacuum cleaners, relationships live in a different realm. Relationships are dynamic in nature with multiple moving parts such as different attachment styles, communication styles, coping mechanisms, pet peeves, and the list goes on and on. Think of your relationship with your partner as a garden. There are no switches or permanent fail-safes here. This is a living, breathing ecosystem, subject to weather changes, pest attacks, and neglect. If we don't check in at regular intervals and weed out issues in the bud, they might compound into deal breakers. So when we carry on with things as they are, we leave the doors open for relationship pathogens like complacency, resentment, and entitlement. Feeling like you could use a little relationship checkup? Stick around till the end of this video for a free relationship test that could diagnose any problems plaguing your bond. And if you feel like the garden of your relationship is looking a little unkempt and overrun by weeds, you can take comfort in knowing that you do not need to do anything drastic or new to help rejuvenate it. You can also rest assured that everyone's relationship goes into disarray every now and then, and there's nothing to wallow over or be ashamed of. However, you may need to crank up what us therapists like to call relationship maintenance. Again, this isn't something you don't already know about. That coffee you make for your wife every morning without her asking, that's relationship maintenance. Finding the fridge fully stocked by your partner on days you don't want to go to the grocery store, that's relationship maintenance. Calling your partner's parents to check in on their health when your partner forgets to, you got it, relationship maintenance. Basically, any behavior or conversation one or both partners in a relationship engage in to keep their relationship running smoothly comes under the umbrella of relationship maintenance. There are, however, certain preventative measures we need to take to protect our relationship in the long run. These might be difficult than just picking up your partner's cleaning on a busy day, but they can immunize your relationship against issues for extended periods of time, just like our yearly flu shot. Yes, I am in fact talking about a relationship audit. Some people prefer to call it a relationship review. A set of questions both partners can ask each other and their own selves to understand where their relationship stands. These questions are designed to diagnose issues in your relationship that seem benign, but might turn out to be deadly for your relationship's future. It's also a great tool to know of the healthier parts of your relationship. Knowing what your strengths are can really help you muscle your way through the trying times. In this video, I will give you 4 pointed questions that will help you verbalize what is, in most relationships, left unsaid. But before that, some ground rules. Avoid absolutes, saying things like you always do this or you never think about that, because it creates an atmosphere of hostility and paints your partner as an unreasonable person. Wait for your turn to speak. Cutting your partner off mid-sentence is a complete no-no. If you're concerned about forgetting your points, make notes. And use I sentences instead of you sentences. I feel ignored when you don't ask me about my day sounds much kinder and less hostile than you don't care about what I do all day. All right, the stage is set. Let the reviewing begin. Here's the first question. What's one habit of mine you find challenging to deal with but haven't mentioned yet? As your relationship matures, it becomes clear that there are parts of your personality that your partner tolerates for your sake. Despite how common it is, we shouldn't take all the grace our partner gives us for granted, and vice versa. This is especially true for habits that might go against your partner's values or disturb their sense of normalcy. For instance, you may not tip as generously as your partner expects you to. Or you may not be as proficient with scheduling and coordinating as your partner needs you to be. Similarly, you too might be putting up with nagging and corrective prompting from your partner, or their habit of changing their behavior when they are in a group versus when they are alone with you. All of these are scenarios that might not feel like deal breakers individually. However, when they accumulate over time and get worse with age, they spell death for a relationship. Asking this question can help you uproot bad habits from your relationship, and doing something for the sake of your partner and relationship might just be the incentive you've been waiting for this whole time. Remember, not everything your partner mentions will ring true for you. The idea of this question is to stimulate conversation, not transform who you are entirely. Speaking of transformation, let's move to our next question. Number 2, Do you feel like there's an aspect of your identity you've had to suppress for the sake of your relationship? In the chase phase of our relationship, we love to be our most desirable selves. We cherry pick the most lovable qualities and amplify them so our partner remains attracted to and impressed by us. As time passes, we might realize that in an attempt to be more desirable or appealing to our partner, we might have unwittingly cut off certain essential aspects of ourselves. Did you put your dream off of being a globetrotter on the back burner because your partner has severe travel anxiety? Did your partner give up their vision of minimalist, pristine home interiors because of your hoarding habit? No relationship comes without sacrifice, but things get murky when these sacrifices go unnoticed. This is why you must talk about the aspects of your personality you had to jettison off so your relationship could keep moving forward. This isn't to incite fresh conflict or settle scores. At its best, this question might help you open new avenues to help reawaken parts of your identities that your relationship was too fragile to handle when it was young. And at the very least, it can help build a cycle of gratitude and acknowledgement in your relationship, which can't really hurt, right? No matter how big or small the gesture, acknowledgement is necessary, which brings me to my next question. Question 3. What part of your relationship do you think I've taken for granted? Fine, I'll say it. Taking things for granted in a relationship is not only natural, but also does good for your bond. In doses. Isn't it a beautiful feeling when we can rely on our partners without worrying? Knowing that your partner is there for you no matter what is one of many indicators of a strong relationship. This is why people hardly notice when they do it too much or without due appreciation and acknowledgement. Let's say you have a big sweet tooth and you're never fully satisfied with a meal if it isn't followed up by a dessert. Your partner notices this in the early stages of your relationship and starts to stock the fridge with your favorite sweet treats at all times. They also bring in a fancier dessert every now and then just to make you smile. This becomes a weekly tradition for you. Week after week, the sweet treats became more and more of a habit, to the point where it doesn't feel special anymore. It feels normal. One fine day, during a particularly busy work week for your partner, you open the fridge and find nothing sweet. When your partner comes home after a long day, instead of asking what's wrong, you lose your cool and start hounding them about how they could forget the one special thing you share every week. How could they forget it? Do they not care? Both of you cannot see each other's side and end up fighting. After the fight, the tradition loses its familiar sweetness, and you cannot go back to the way it was. Taking things for granted breeds entitlement and bitterness if you want to keep the sweetness alive. Ask your partner if they feel like you take them or their actions for granted. Listen to them and acknowledge their effort. Make sure you express your gratitude through words and reciprocal actions. And while conversations about gratitude and entitlement might be difficult, they are easier than certain subjects we always steer clear of. Subjects like jealousy, inferiority, and insecurity. Subjects that can be broached with our final question. What's something I do that makes you feel insecure, and how can I do better? Insecurity is a multifaceted monster. It rears its ugly head in the likeliest and unlikeliest of places. Your wife rekindles her friendship with an old college friend. Insecurity. You weren't the first person your boyfriend called to tell you about their promotion. Insecurity. Your partner stayed out longer than they said they would because they went to an after party. Insecurity. Talking about insecurity can be daunting because the feeling might be dismissed as invalid or out of place. Admitting that your partner's actions are making you feel insecure can make you feel like you're being immature or obsessive. The truth is that everyone feels insecure at some point in a relationship. Not talking about the elephant in the room will not make it go away. If anything, it will keep getting bigger and bigger. For the partner feeling insecure, try to be as honest as possible, as kindly as possible. Do not try to hide your truth or rub it in your partner's face. To reach a place free of insecurity, one must tread the path carefully. For the partner triggering insecurity, do not get defensive. If you've got nothing to hide, then you've got nothing to fret about. Try to empathize with your partner, with reason, of course, and make them see your side of the story. If you navigate this conversation successfully, you might be able to reduce the overall sense of insecurity in your relationship without drastically changing your actions at all. Talking about it is the battle half won. Once you're done asking each other these questions, take some time together or apart and reassess the strengths of your relationship with the new information and perspective you've just uncovered. If you're unsure where to begin, use the Relationship Satisfaction Scale as a gauge for your relationship's health. Our website offers a free Relationship Satisfaction Scale. Just give us your responses and we'll reach out to you with your results and science-backed tips on how to protect your relationship from the slow decay of one-sided entitlement. You'll find the link in the description box below. And it goes without saying, we guarantee your privacy. Your personal info stays just that, personal, and the results tailored just for you by seasoned psychologists. If you still find yourself struggling, don't hesitate to book a therapy session. I'm Jordan Travers. I'm a licensed clinical psychotherapist and the clinical director of Awake Therapy. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more science-backed, expert-guided therapy tips. And if you have any questions about relationship dynamics or anything else, do not hesitate to drop them in the comments section below, and I will try my best to get to them. Also, please hit the like button if you found these tips were helpful to you. This encourages me to create more on-demand content loved by our audience. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.